1 sec.
You know, little like fun little bits of flavor in there. Now I did the Chromie event, which is fine.
No, it's not.
Clear mid.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'm really glad.
I'm gonna give my opinion on it. I'm
Getting
not.
ready,
No
so-
offense sitting here. Who do you think I am? No, sorry. The Chromie event sucks ass. I like what
so rubbish.
massive disappointment.
Yeah,
it's
you know.
so,
Oh, that's a shame.
I apologize to whatever dev like made it because it's no reflect. Well, I mean, maybe it is reflective, but I know I whatever the brief was, it just it sucks. It takes about an hour to queue into if you're
I
at
was
DPS.
literally half an hour waiting for this Chromie event, and I was like,
You know why that is, don't you?
Why?
Because no one's queuing for it, because it's rubbish. No one wants to do it.
Oh.
So, like, I queued
Perpetuating
on as a healer, which you should definitely
Clear
do.
mid.
By the way,
It's
because,
personal.
You know, like, you don't need to be a healer in there. There's no healer needed at all.
fair.
But, so, you know, I don't know about
Even
you,
so-
but when I heard about this, it was like, revisit the gates of Anchorage. And I was like, that sounds like just the kind of thing I want to do.
Yeah, that's like a hardcore core memory for a lot of people. Big event. I wasn't there for the first one, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. You know, and just calling it, you know, revisiting the gates of
Don't get
Anchorage.
booped
I was
in the
like,
webs.
wow, iconic.
To the side of
big.
these.
I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like my frame rate's gonna be like 2, and it's gonna
Got one
feel
now.
incredible.
I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that you might be revisiting that great event in WoW history, right?
Okay, charge soon.
No,
We're
you
just
don't.
moving right.
You go there,
Charging.
and
Comes
you go
charge,
into like
get out of
the
it.
general
Get right-
area
get right
where
to
it
the edge.
happened, and you see some kind of like sand ghosts like
Yeah,
frozen.
come
and it's like,
back.
oh, this
Right
is what
in
it
the
would have
corner.
been like.
Watch charge
And
shift
then you
right
like
a little bit.
fly around with Chromie, and you kill some mobs, and that's it.
That's literally
Hooray!
It's so
And then
that.
Charge
the
shift
end,
right,
like,
shift right.
boss, right, is down.
Oh yeah, whatever. I can't literally. I can't remember it. I'm really sorry. It's,
Monstrous or something.
Charge
It
shift
was
right
like,
again.
oh, okay, so
and maybe it's different if you do it other times, and maybe it will kind of like carry on.
it
and
will. There will
like
be different
evolve.
ones because
Yeah.
you get ones with like the skirt.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You
But
get
then I
different.
don't give a shit about the scourge or like I just want to. Why? How hard would it be just to have gates opening and massive cool Egyptian shit coming through, and then you kill it and you got no frame rate? There's millions of you doing it.
Yeah, that's what I saw in my
20,
head.
How many in these scenarios? Like 20 or something?
Yeah,
Or like, so
yeah.
that's never going to feel like the gates of Anchorage anyway. Like you make 100-person scenario, you get them all in there, and then you like you release it, and you have the scenario constantly going on, and so you only have to, and then you leave the scenario when you're done, and someone else takes your place. So you know it's not like individual queues you're waiting for to pop.
It's like always happening.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
constantly happening, and it's just like
Okay, cool, we live.
things coming out of huge like portals.
Yeah,
That's what it
I'm
needs
getting
to-
like stomped
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Yeah, watch
big
feet.
bad dude.
And you have to fly around huge different parts of the map.
Oh,
Like, just
come
put you
on.
there with the
Yeah.
big doors, the gates.
The gates.
The gates, Evie. The what? The gates.
The
of
Gates of
Anchorage.
Encourage.
Where were they?
I
and
feel
like,
you.
and you have big things walking through,
Feel
and
you.
then you're like boom, boom,
Oh, it's
boom,
getting
and
ready,
you go
so
blam, and then you go plop, and then it's all done, and you leave. You
Yeah.
kill the amount that you're supposed to kill, and then you leave, and then someone else comes in, and there's always 100
Oh,
people
the-
there, and it's always pew pew, and it's always boom boom, and it's always like yeah, that would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not unreasonable that that's the kind of thing I was expecting.
Yeah. It just, yeah, someone mentioned it just felt like time rifts.
Yeah.
But like,
well, no, time rifts were really
time
fun.
rifts were fun, but they were, yeah, because they weren't like, you know, a little instant
Yeah, watch feet.
thing. Yeah. It felt, yeah, so I'm really glad actually that wasn't my first
That's it coming.
thing.
Clear
I'm
mid.
really
Just
glad
personal.
my queue took half an hour to pop because yeah, it came and went, and it wasn't like offensive, but yeah, I'm not gonna remember it. I'm just,
Even
you
so.
know.
Yeah, it was worse than offensive. It was just like nothing. It was,
Yeah.
I'm not like,
Lucky?
it's not the end of the world. It's
There?
not a massive deal, right? Like, I'm not going to be making videos going, you know, Chromie's Codex has ruined WoW. the anniversary event is a failure because of
Get ready
this.
for phase.
Like, it's not
Okay,
a big
check
deal.
your position.
It's
Don't
like
get
it's
spooked
going
in a
on,
web.
Whatever. And it's better than nothing, I guess. But I can't lie
Got one web.
about how this. Disappointed is even the wrong word because my hopes for this patch weren't
Here
pinned
comes
on it,
charge.
You know, so I'm not even disappointed. I'm just like, that's such.
Charge it down.
That just
Stay
blows.
left bit.
That shit just blows. And
Like,
that's
Sally,
shame,
does it
isn't
suck or does it blow? You can pick one.
It's trying to do both and doing
That's
neither.
right,
That's
stay
that's
right.
the main problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay right.
So
Left.
yeah, I'm not angry or disappointed. I'm just like, it has not moved me. It's a shame. It's a
Say.
shame. So there we go. But what about the rest of
It's
it?
a crying shame.
I've done one time walking dungeon,
Get out of the
which was
purple.
fun.
Get out of the purple.
It's just time walking. I don't
Yeah,
mind it. I like doing time
it's just
walking
time
stuff.
walking.
And you know what? Ever since I did Black Temple, I've like renewed interest in time walking. I don't know why, but it didn't really appeal to me before. And then
You love doing Black Temple, didn't you?
I just thought
You
it
had
was
such a great afternoon.
I'd
Yeah,
never
what do you
done
think
it,
about
and I was like, "This is awesome." We were just bopping it, and you just see these like iconic story beats and Illidan at the end, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, actually, yeah."
You were loving it. You wouldn't stop thinking about it. You were just sitting there going, "Oh, I'm making all these noises." You're like, "Oh, this is so great."
Like
That's
the music was
you
great,
happier
the
than our
bop
wedding.
was
Like, right.
wild. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I did a time walking dungeon. I'll do the rest.
I'm gonna
of those.
die here, I fear.
I haven't done
you go,
Blackrock.
Alright, now I live.
Got a couple
I
notes
live,
now.
I've done it.
bitch.
How did it go?
I did it on LFR.
Did you do the whole thing?
Yeah, it's a ruffle stomp like you'd expect it to be.
On LFR?
Yeah, I did all
Okay.
3 wings.
Watch your feet.
It's fine. It's enjoyable. It's like an LFR raid, but unlike
Okay,
other
acid
LFR
clear
raids, I'm not
They're all the way
also
back
doing
center.
the normal heroic one at the same time, so it doesn't feel like the problem is obviously I go into LFR and it's like I'm progressing the heroic raid, but the LFR one always just feels horrible. But I haven't done the normal heroic and Black Rock Depths yet, so it actually feels quite fun to be doing the
Okay,
LFR.
that makes sense.
And I
So,
like to go in and do normal heroic. I hear heroic's actually like relatively hard. And
Yeah,
quite tricky,
I've
and,
heard
like,
that
you
a
can
lot
have
of
to be-
people have been struggling with
Yeah,
it.
you have to be.
It's not hard, it's
Yeah, you have to
overtuned.
know
It's not
the
the same
stats.
thing.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
mechanics
yeah.
are straightforward and
Someone
easy.
was telling me Max from Liquid was doing it on stream yesterday, and it was like genuinely tricky. Which I replied, obviously that's because Max is a
Beat.
retail like baby and hasn't played proper classic WoW, and it's too
Okay, acid coming, clear mid.
good at, which is like
Just personal.
soft ass retail, right, for noobs.
Right, exactly.
But also I hear it's quite hard. So like
You ready, evens?
I hope we
So-
will go in
so-
there as a guild and sort of.
I was gonna say, it feels like something nice for the guild to do. Are the rewards good?
Yeah, it's
You
like
get
heroic
good?
rewards, so
I'm in.
yeah, like no, it's worth doing, and it's just fun to have a new raid, right? And
Got a
like,
resignate?
as someone, I've never been a huge fan of that as a dungeon because, like all the time,
We're gonna have one more.
It's so funny. That
We're gonna
they've
have one
done
more
it
feed
because
phase.
I had to kind of realize that they've been away in a way because there was a point
I want that.
where if you started a new if you started a new character, those are the dungeons that you just did.
Still got a res.
Hey, charge coming. Charge coming. Get out of it.
And,
Right
you know,
on us.
Every new alt would be going into those dungeons at level 10. So all of the dead mines and
Charge, stay out of it.
Stratholme and the ones that are in this little time walking rotation, they are like the stock dungeons that you would do
Charge,
every new character
stay left.
as you were leveling them up. And then with Proby Time and the changes in like the
Oh my
Charge, stay
God.
inside. Get right on the edge here.
It's supposed to be kind of like leveling up in and stuff. That has changed, and you just don't go into them anymore. Like you just don't queue into them anymore, and so it was
Get out,
really
get
weird to
out.
be
Oh my
like,
God.
yeah, these have been away. These aren't dungeons.
We
that I've
split
been
the raid.
going to.
GG's.
So that's really cool.
We split the raid.
Come
GG's.
back
Yeah,
over
it
there.
felt
Watch your
fine.
feet.
Like it didn't feel like we destroyed it, but like we were also
We're gonna let it go.
destroyed. So felt good.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
just, like,
I'm
keep
feeding the boss, bro.
I really am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
I'm gonna
doing
check
more.
the logs and see who fed the boss the most. I think I see
Yeah,
my
so,
name number
yeah,
one
it
on
jumped
that
in.
particular meter.
Story time was the first one that popped, and then I
I'm
really
feeding
like
the
how they
boss.
do mark which ones are like coming, like which little events come with the little
Oh, yeah,
balloons on the map. Very handy, because I do tend to hang around like while I'm waiting for a queue to pop for something else. I'll just do something.
I'm running out of
as part
cards
of
to
the
play,
celebration,
however, so we better finish feeding this boss,
Mania.
please.
Was the next one that came up.
Where's the food?
Which
How did you do Mount Mania?
Okay.
He's fully fed. He's
I
fully
did.
fed.
I've got a feeling we've got similar.
Let's
Let's
stories.
fucking
Yeah.
punch his card real
I
quick
did
before we can
terribly,
fucking
But
die.
like the first, literally the first one that came up as I joined Mount Mania was Eve's
Yeah, what
Ghastly
would it be?
Rider, which was, and everyone in the
throw
crowd
up
was
a
like,
portal?
dude. Which of course has recently been
current
put
shop mount,
on the
right?
shop. It's on the shop, but it was previously trading
Okay,
posts, and
let's
so
get
it's
ready.
created a bit of a discourse around
The
that
grip
one.
is
So that
gonna
was
be
hilarious.
hard.
It's definitely gonna be the shit show this week.
Yeah.
JD,
Oh my
so,
god.
like, go comment hunting tomorrow. That's your job.
And then there was some, there were like gladiator mounts
That's
coming
right.
out.
No, what?
Yeah. Oh, and then literally the one after that was like the headless horseman mount. And everyone's like, dude, fuck you. Like that's
I love that sound of Tally laughing very loudly out of range of his mic.
Yeah, yeah.
Burn them at the stake.
So
Witchcraft.
it is really fun, and then it'll be like, oh,
So
not
close.
your Highland Drake, and I was like,
Well, that's the
"Yay."
Hardened Rage?
But it
Yep.
It's funny how often the dragon riding mounts come up. Like it's a
Drake.
cliffside Wilderdrake.
They were like,
No.
come on, someone's gotta, you know, be able to participate. This is for everyone to participate in. But one, I have to say, I am hugely impressed with everyone's mount collection. Oh my god, people like just have mounts. Like, I'm not a mount collector. I love mounts, but I'm clearly not. Whew, it was crazy. It was absolutely wild. But I really like that, and I like that there's a bit of a challenge.
Yes,
and
yep.
I like that
5
there's some
minute going up, be
really,
back by
like,
8:35
mean
round.
ones. There's some
Yeah.
real, like,
All right. One of my rules during raid is when the break is called, we take an actual break. We take an actual break. And our pug's dropping out mid-break, by the way. Hilarious. Well, gotta stand up and move around. That's the point of a break.
Oh, pug left, huh?
How much do you I'm asking, I can ask a friend, but he healed the lead.
Is Ragnar on? Oh, he is on.
Yeah, my friend can heal. Is rest of Shaman done?
That's absolutely fantastic.
You want me to suggest it?
Let's see if
Yeah, let me get a reply back to Ragnar, and if he's doesn't want to leave that, or if he's not, like, you know, on last boss, basically.
I mean, in Necrotic, if he's on ditch, it's basically almost done anyway.
was I saw it. It was the easiest $90 of my fucking life, man.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I've wanted dogs and asked out for so long.
All right. I got up. We moved around. Let's take a quick look at how the Dark Ranger builds out.
This I can't suggest because I'm not party leader.
You have assist, just grab it.
So Black Arrow, sure.
Of which was Noel's wife.
Once they're both kids, you guys drop to this
Can we get
We're gonna
a
try
sunstone as
this.
well?
We gotta swap
You
our
can.
shrink.
Yeah, that's what this dude makes me look like a fucking amateur.
He heals pretty well. He heals our highest keys.
Yeah, before one of the hill swaps leave, let's just try a pull or 2-5 hill and see what it does. So
The only issue I'm worried about is we hit range on that. We did lose a hair for like a bunch of people, so it's either people can't be dying or we're gonna hit in range again if we're running 5 heal.
Yeah, we were down to 2 DPS from basically the beginning of the fight to the end, but it's rough.
You want to post?
yes.
I guess I could also invite him. You can ask him.
Hey,
How about we focus on the kill?
so welcome. I'm gonna focus my Earth Shields on blood. You can Destructors and Pro.
Who's going DPS?
Oh, good. Nobody's going to DPS yet. We're just gonna try to fluff you. See what we get. And eventually, I'm definitely going to spot toxic. Or now fully toxic. Whatever the hell your name is.
Yo, have our other healers roll off.
I wanted to blame
Are
Let's see if
are
this
you even
Dark
smooth then?
Ranger
Have you
build
pulled on this?
is more fun to play / more effective.
I have. Do you
Now
guys
that
pull to
we've
the end?
given Sentinel
Yes.
a try.
Yep, and then the soak circle should be going roughly around blue for the first one, and then just kind of to mid once we, get moved around after intermissions. But so you'll be evens. You'll do second, fourth, and so on.
Okay, sounds good. Also, for CDs, you're not in a rotation, so just use them when you think you need to. But
All right, let's see how this plays. I wanted to get a good baseline for Sentinel, but I feel like we're just a pull or two away from the kill here. So if I am indeed going to be doing some science,
Let's do it.
let's do some science. Wow, and I can just open with a Black Arrow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch your step.
Watch those feet. Clear mid. Oh, it's getting ready.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, some of the clears just stayed in melee. That was not good.
Run out.
Oh, it's so.
Group 1 share.
I'll go ahead and clean that up. Without even having to be asked to, you know.
We get Rygar up. Or,
Watch your
Rybok,
step.
I mean.
Your feet. Toxic stuff coming. Use personal clear mid. Okay, even soak.
Group 2 share. Watch your step.
Okay, check your position. Don't get booped into webs.
Kill ads.
Okay, charge coming.
Fingers that they'll
Careful.
drop.
We're
And
shifting
it-
around.
I loved
Counter.
being as part of the crowd,
Charging.
and everyone's like
charge.
emoting,
Stay
and
left of
everyone's
it,
like,
or-
ah, dang, like, you know,
That is super
it was cool,
Yeah,
and I
shifting,
felt really
shifting, there's
connected
charge,
with
stay
like
on
kind
the
of the
side
other
of it.
people there. I thought it was a really good time. Was that like your experience of it?
Yeah, the
This
optical
corner.
illusion almost
Towards
got
the
me
end.
there.
cards on the table here. The mount off
Charging.
into
Charge,
the
shift,
anniversary event
shift. Get the edge
was
here.
unexpectedly the most humiliating experience of my life. I don't think I've ever been
Watch your step.
so chastened in front of so many people because I did it on stream
Oh!
as well.
Oh.
You know,
Oh, no.
Callie,
I've got like
no, you gotta
300.
keep that. You
Yeah,
gotta keep that to yourself.
I've got like 320 odd mounts, okay, which I always thought was low.
That's not a lot of
Yeah,
mounts.
well,
I
I'm
get
gonna
all the
bubble
ones that you
clear
just
some of
have to
these.
get, right? And I was like, playing this game a long ass time.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
professional.
yeah.
WoW
No, you have to
player,
devote
right?
some
So I
time to
really
mount
like mounts, so
farming
I'm gonna
if you
find
want to
it.
have
So
a
deep
chance
down,
at the
it's
mount
the
off.
thing where you know you're
You
not
gotta
gonna win
have
by a lot of
that
tickets,
dog
you
in
know you're
you.
not gonna win, but you kind of think you might. I had that feeling about the mount off, right? And I was like, I've got a feeling I'll do pretty well here, right? So we started. The first mount that came up was like some 2-polygon
Jump it.
fox or something.
Too many down.
And
Jump
I was
it has
like,
been
oh,
called.
I don't have that.
No, that was a decent.
We gotta get him fed.
It was a decent
before,
silo.
Up on the
I don't know if
charge.
that was
Okay,
fourth or
granted,
fifth, but
isn't hard to get.
we don't
and is
want to take
recent,
that.
and I could have if I wanted, but I didn't
I
have
don't know
that.
how we're losing so
And
many
then
people
there was
early,
like
but
some other kind of spectral
just
thing
can't
that
lose
came
people.
up, and I was like, I don't have that. And literally, Evie, I was starting to sweat at this point because I'd been 3,
Especially now, like
and
5
I
healing
hadn't had a
gears.
single one of them, and everyone was looking at me on my stream and like chuckling and
Please
feeling a
don't
bit
die.
sorry for me. And I was starting to feel a bit like someone in a restaurant waiting for a date that wasn't turning up. You know, and you know when you get that sense that everyone's starting to look at you and feel sorry for you,
Yeah.
and like,
We'll all find out
well,
much
it's probably
better.
never happened to you. It's never happened to me, definitely.
No,
but I'd imagine that in that
absolutely not.
situation, you'd be like, aha, well, here I am in the restaurant by myself on purpose, just like I wanted to be.
Reading the
So
book,
yeah, just having a
sipping the
lovely time
wine.
by myself, living my best girl boss life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the impression I was trying to give as this mount off was happening. You know, I was just joining in the fun, making it like I didn't care. But Evie, I did care. Inside, I was getting torn up. And then the
Double
fourth
healing
one came
range,
up,
right?
Oh,
Fuck
for now.
me. Oh.
and
reset.
it was like some
Resets.
moth.
Sorry, I went to hit
Some moth,
ready and
Evie,
it clicked my
from,
portal.
from the Shadowlands. I'm like, no, I don't have it from the Shadowlands. You kidding me? Something I had to collect fucking moth wings for or some shit in Shadowlands? No, I don't have that. Are you kidding? The only thing I farmed in Shadowlands was the Ghostbusters slime pack. Okay, that was amazing. I farmed the shit out of that because I needed it so bad in my life. But I did not farm the moth. I didn't get the moth. Okay, so we're 4 mounts in. I haven't had one yet, and there are 15 in the thing, right? So the 5th mount comes up, and it's like some tiger that isn't even in the game anymore. But there were people mounting that shit, Evie. I'm not lying. And I was like, oh
Can we
my
wait, like,
god,
20
this
seconds?
is so humiliating.
Yep.
And then, like, literally some very modern mount came up that I didn't have, and we're like on 7 mounts right now. We're coming up to the halfway point in this thing, and I haven't had a single one.
No,
Me.
that portal thing?
Taliesin.
No, that's cool. I just
Quite a
I'm on
big deal.
cooldown
I've
on it,
hosted
so we
BlizzCon,
can pull
alright?
down. I just didn't
You know,
want to not be able to use it during the
everyone, all my friends were
Demo
watching,
League.
and I didn't have any of them, and I was starting to feel a little bit a little bit bad, honestly. And then an otter came up, and I was like, oh, I've got loads of otters, but
Damn,
it was the one
you good?
otter I didn't have. It was the one you had to collect the effing rings for, Evertel. You know the one you had to get the
Yep.
rings for?
I
And
know.
I was
I
like,
still
oh, I
have those
stole
rings in
those.
my bag.
No,
I'll
it's
still-
still, I kept
Still
those in my
missing
bag
the
for
ring.
ages, and I was like, I don't want these rings in my bag. So at the end of the I just sold them, and I was like, oh, I don't need that
5,
otter. But I wish I had the otter now.
3,
Oh, now I feel
2,
stupid.
Yeah.
Now I
1.
feel dumb because I was just sitting there on my little brown otter, and everyone else was on their like beautiful, like like grey ones or whatever it was. I was like, oh my god, this
Watch
is so
your step.
horrible. Okay, so we got to
So's
the
feet.
9th mount, Eddie.
Ooh,
So
wow.
we're already over halfway through this event. I haven't had a single mount, and I cannot explain to you the humiliation, the degradation, the defeatism I'm
Mid.
feeling at this point. Like
pretty grim.
I'm this close to
getting ready.
uninstalling the game. I'm like, basically, I am not the player that I thought I was. I'm not the man that I thought I was. I'm not the human that I thought
so-
I was. I'm not the father that I thought I was. I'm not like. So I was like,
What a shame.
this is, and I swear to God, every word I'm saying is true here. The 9th mount came up,
Okay.
and I was like, basically, if I don't get this, I'm just giving up. Wow.
Fair.
And do you know what mount it was? The Cliffside Wilderdrake. A
Watch
dragon
your step.
riding mount. And I was like, motherfucker, I've got that one.
Watch those feet.
I wish it was a bit
That's
of a rarer
coming.
one that
It's
I
personal
have.
clear
I wish
mid.
it wasn't one that you get literally automatically when you play the last expansion. But I was like, thank God, I've got a mount. And I went to click on it in my mount
Run out.
tab. and my
Even
game
so,
crashed.
even so.
I think I heard that.
I
I think I was
swear
downstairs and I think
to
I heard
God,
you.
I
like,
was sitting there. I sat through 8 mounts of not having any of the mounts, and then they did like the scrub mount for all the scrubs
Watch
out
your
there.
step.
They were like, and
For all the
Joker
Taliesin's
Batman.
out there.
Here's a Cliffside Wilderdrake, and I was like, ah, yeah, baby, at last. And the relief that washed over me because I was
Like you
beginning to
missed
think there was a
soaking
very
elf.
real
Make sure
chance
you soak
I
with
wouldn't have a
evens.
single mount in this mount off, and then my game broke.
Okay, we're shipped in. Watch the charge
like,
though.
And you know what?
Charging.
I
Charge.
spent a
Stay
minute
out of
or
it.
so just crying,
Careful.
basically. But then
Okay, we're
once
going
I
clockwise.
loaded back into the
Yeah,
game,
get away
from
obviously
these
the
ads.
mount off was still
That's
going
the charge.
on, and there was like another mount that I had, but that I didn't have time to get on before it moved on to the next one,
Oh.
and I didn't have that one. So I got
Charging.
one mount in
Right
this
on,
mount
let's
off,
stay
and
to the
that was
edge.
like the
The
light
edge.
forged kind of thing from Legion, which
Not a lot of people have that one. I don't have that one.
Yeah.
have, but it's
Yeah.
rare enough for me to
That
do
costs a
it.
fair whack of gold to be able to get.
Expensive one.
Yeah, it cost 500,000 gold at the time, which was a lot. Because of
Can
the,
I still get it?
yeah, easy.
Okay.
You've got to be like, I think exalted with light forge,
Careful, feet.
Draenei, and then you can just go.
But
Okay.
pretty much everyone
Because
is.
that one popped up.
'Cause you had to
in
get
my
that
ad as well, and
exalted
every-
rep to be able to unlock
like
the
several
allied
people had it,
race
and people were like,
Yeah.
in BFA.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that. But if it hadn't been for that, that was literally my one saving grace.
Okay, we got him.
I was so, and not disappointed in the game, obviously, no, again, not blaming the devs here, just disappointed in myself. And I've never regretted not being a mount collector before. Ah, but man, I regretted it in that moment. I was like,
Watch your
Move
step.
portal up.
I bet some of them are really
That's
easy to get.
coming.
Oh, one of them was the tiger from Winter Spring that you had to like eat and like.
the baby.
Yeah. I was like,
They're
I
mid.
started doing that one. Why don't I have this mount? I was like. So yeah, I found the entire thing incredibly depressing. I'm never touching it.
I loved it. I thought it was really
Yeah,
thrilling.
so gods.
Even though, yeah, like you, I hardly had any mounts, but I
Oh,
loved
it's
seeing
so-
the rare ones pop,
With
and then
one
seeing
shot.
people in the crowd on their mounts. Everyone was like, "Heck yeah!" I see you.
Yeah, it's
I
got to be a
respect you,
permanent
look at it.
feature in the game. The mount off is too good to be an Asmund Gold thing alone. They gotta build that into the game.
Or mounts that aren't in the game anymore, which was the case with that because it wasn't even in my list. I wrote it in my list, this tiger, and it wasn't
Like
even
just
there.
straight up
It's
yoink
not
that
in.
from Asmund
And
Gold. Fuck
really
it.
annoys me because I actually have a
That's
couple of
coming
aces
clear
up my
mid.
sleeves when it comes
It's
to mounts.
personal.
I have the hippo mount, which is like still a kind of a 2% mount.
Yeah,
You know,
the special one.
and
Even
even
so-
now,
Even
it's
so-
a
even
vicious
so.
saddle. Like it's just not something people have. But that will never pop up because it's Alliance only. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you've seen the hippo mount pop up in the mount off, because if it does, I will. If someone can confirm to me
No,
that
I
the
didn't,
hippo
but
has
it's
a
all good.
chance of popping up in the mount off,
Watch your
I will
step.
do the mount
Okay,
off
don't get
every
moved into
single
webs.
day until it pops up,
Don't
and
get
I
moved
can
off the
actually
edge or into
just
webs.
be the one that sits on his hippo.
Relax.
I want to be that
Yeah,
guy.
first
I want to be the
watching
guy
for the
that
portal.
when that pops up in the mount off, I'm like the dude on the hippo. but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Okay, we're pretty good
We're in the
position.
right
Here
spot.
comes Portal.
I think it should. If you're going to
Ciao.
announce that aren't in the game anymore, you
Side.
should be able to have faction specific now, just to really rub it in, right? But I'm never winning them, I'll put it that way. So
Portal.
I'll just do
Move
it,
side,
get my
right.
tokens,
Get him up quick.
do that. But on the subject of
Charging.
tokens, because obviously
Charge,
this
stay
is the
side,
thing,
edge
I'm
here.
going to make a joke about it in the reset, the excellent guide that you wrote and stuff. The
Don't
idea
get
that,
in.
you know, we're telling you all the fun things.
Getting nervous and swallowing my
Right on.
spit at the inappropriate times.
You want to know about the rewards.
Choking on my own saliva here,
I
man.
couldn't find
We're
it.
going to joke a bit, but there's obviously like a lot of truth in that. People
I couldn't find you. You weren't.
Yeah, you're way off by the
them
front.
by doing
jump
the
off.
activities and doing weeklies.
Jump off.
Anniversary specific weeklies.
But I'm
also
feeding,
weeklies and
bro.
stuff like that. And you know you can get,
You can get
a
knocked
bit of a
off
haul
the-
together and
the whole
and buy it
platform?
that way. And this is what people seem to
Yeah, I
be
got
annoyed
clipped.
about. So
I
first
was
impressions
out of it
on
on
that.
my screen, but
In terms of
I got
getting
clipped
points,
by the edge of it,
Yeah.
so it pushed me on like an awkward way.
My War Within weeklies yet. I haven't done like the big stuff.
Yeah, it was, I
just-
found
just
you,
pumped
and
in
I was
and done some
mid-cast, and
celebration
that
quests.
thing jumped
I
on
feel like
top
I was
of us.
getting tokens. I had a quick
But-
look around at the vendors.
That's
and, like,
it's
wrap
it's
my
fine.
brain around, like, who does what.
I just missed.
It looks like Evie's mic has cut out again.
And Blood, I thought you said to soak the pods on the next time because of the even.
Really,
I gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
I do really like that I never have mic problems because it's just a USB mic. It just plugs directly into the computer. There's no problems to have. Thank God.
Still losing people to I don't know what.
Sup, Duke Vulture? Good to see you,
Can you
man.
hear me now?
I did
can
not
hear myself.
catch the RM Brown
we are back. You
Patreon
sound
live.
good. I sound good.
I'm glad the next one's going to be on a Sunday. I should be able to catch that one. Did he say Sunday for the next one? I wasn't able to catch this one, unfortunately.
I like that.
I hope there's a VOD.
Right, I had a quick look around. I kind of took stock of what's there, and yeah,
Alright.
I know
The
that
best. Can't lose
we're not
people.
going to be swimming
Here we go.
in celebration.
All right, I will watch it on
Bronze-
YouTube.
Bronze celebration
Wait,
coins. God,
wait, I've got it. I've got it. Hold on. I've got it.
That's on YouTube.
we have like too many bronzes. Too many coins. Like, I mean,
What is this one the problem?
well, yeah, I don't really see it as a problem. I do find it a bit. I have a
feet.
little bit of like.
Well, thanks for swinging by my
what's
stream
the word?
after I presume
Can't
that
remember,
stream
but I find it a
ended.
bit funny that we have. Yeah, there's.
They're mid.
I couldn't do it because I had to
There's
be
a
here
cognitive
doing
dissonance
Mythic raiding.
That we're like, I'm gathering these bronze celebrations.
I needed to have my full cognitive load devoted to this game.
Bullion in my bag. And,
That's why
meanwhile, I
Thursdays are
also
inconvenient for me.
find
Good. Odd soap, odd soap.
badges. And then, like, the
But I
like
don't
the
do
mix
this on
of,
Sundays.
like,
Odd soap, what
don't
am I
like that
doing?
there's a bunch
Get
that
my
I'm
shit together.
kind of, getting both, right?
both
That I
folds,
find
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
That
whatever,
looks like I'm
multiple
good.
currencies. Although I was really delighted
That's
to see
that's
a
exactly
vendor,
right. Got to be dialed in
celebration
doing the
event,
big DPS.
like a night
And this is
march.
Mythic
Design
raiding,
stuff
so this
for
is the creme de la
whatever,
creme. This
currency
is the
that you serve
utmost.
Yeah.
That's coming.
on.
Use
And I had
personal
like
clear mid.
800 of them in my bag, so I bought some Alec plushies.
No way, seriously?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And I was like,
You
oh,
gotta
move,
you
bro. Even
know
so.
what? This is what we need.
Even
I
so.
need a place where all of my like
this looks a
old
little
school
dicey.
defunct currencies
It's a
can be
little
converted
dicey.
or like used into something better. So yeah, I understand
What?
that it's going to take some time
Okay,
to
we're gonna
farm,
phase here.
particularly
Check your
if
position.
you want to get all of your
Don't get knocked off
tier
during
2
the webs.
sets. That's going to take a little while.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I
don't-
guess I need a
Yeah,
week on
watch
it
for
to-
ads.
My
Watch the first
disengage
charge.
propelled me forward.
Exactly.
before I can really judge it. So.
This is one of those times where I'm glad I'm on
We're
stream
pretty good position. Watch charge.
because I can just scrub back into the
Charge.
VOD
Ship clockwise left. Alright, get to the tanks.
because my disengage
on us, shit.
just pulled me forward. That just happened. And I can prove it. It's on video.
Charge, we're
Where
pretty
is it?
safe.
Shift
Stay
back
edge.
over. Hold
How
up.
does Twitch work? Hold on.
Okay.
So the ads are closer.
Charge on us. Shift.
Blood, move more to your left.
Coming.
Watch your step.
There's the VOD. Here we go.
Start feeding. You ready to watch your feet?
All right,
Watch
perfect.
those feet. If we can get it clear between food and boss, that'd be
Let's pull
awesome.
this over to the main monitor here so I can defend myself.
Yeah, cleared him, clear that web.
Because I absolutely got propelled forward there.
Bring him back and use the same portal, maybe.
Yeah, I can try to move him. Give a second. Blood.
Feet.
Rotate to me.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Clear all the way back to middle.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Clear.
Pause.
Odds
All
getting ready,
right.
so
Alright, very good.
Let's go to the big cam.
Grab the ship.
I got the boss back. I got the boss back.
Let's go to the big cam. Let's see. So I take the portal.
odds so
I'm moving forward. Wait. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's look at that again. Because you'll notice right now I'm facing the boss. And you can see from my gigantic bow like an arrow in a compass pointing cardinal
pass
north.
coming, clear mid.
It shows which way I'm pointing. I get pulled and I gate. But now look, I'm in the gate
even so,
right now, and it has flipped me 180 degrees. And I depart the gate. Zoom, enhance.
Where's that guy?
I'm
I knocked you,
facing away from the boss.
Okay, don't get booped off, don't get booped in the webs.
I'm facing away from the boss.
Hey, watch Brad's, watch the first charge.
Well, that solves the mystery of what the
We're good
fuck
position.
happened there.
Watch charge.
Charging.
Charge, get out of it. Get inside.
Lucky me for actually streaming,
Okay, come back.
so
Thanks.
I could find
Charge,
out
move
what that
clockwise,
was.
stay
And also
outside.
lucky me for getting battle res, so I can keep doing the fight after I did that
Charge, stay
play-by-play.
inside.
Is there someone from my guild in here watching the stream? They're like, let this guy cook. We got to see him justify how he died to this normal mechanic. But yes, we cracked the code. We figured out what happened. I was facing the boss. I took the gate. The gate flipped me around 180 degrees.
Watch feet.
And that's why my disengage propelled me relatively forward.
Break the net.
Very hilarious.
Feet.
And it seems like that's
Green
not
bean,
an
clear.
every time I gate thing.
Personal.
My impression is sometimes I exit the gate still facing the
We got him,
boss.
nice.
Sometimes I don't. So that's a fun little wrinkle to account for in this fight.
I really have no sense of how long it's going to take. Give me a week,
Thank
give
you,
me a few
Potter.
days. I can get my head around it. But I don't
Watch those
mind
feet.
if it's going to take a little while. You know, I have time to spare. Like, we're not,
We have a
like,
battle
we're
res
not
up.
getting
I think we should get
loads
a
of new
DPS up if we
content
can.
until
Clear mid.
January.
Yeah,
so
let's
This
get
is
up.
another issue
Someone
as
can
well,
reach him.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to stick on this for the time being.
Exactly.
So this
Alright, let's
idea
get ready.
that, yeah, okay, so the main thing you're going to want
It's very
is
tricky, so
the
be
tier
careful.
2 sets, right?
I'm gonna help them clear
I think
this.
Something like
Odds so
385 for the entire
Someone
set.
get Elfin.
That's like
They're
all
in range.
13, and which I guess most people are going to want to get all 13.
And that's including the discount.
Well, yeah,
They battle
but
res me,
it's
so I
like-
will
that's
use
a
my
lot. That's
cooldowns to help
4
them.
weeks of doing, you know, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Almost everything.
Watch feet.
Daily. And it's very easy to
I
look
like
at
how
in
that voice
terms
line
of,
plays even if you have dialogue muted, by the way.
you know, wow, 4 weeks of doing everything daily. That's 4 weeks of doing
Okay, clear
everything
mid.
daily.
Even so,
That's
even
a
so.
lot. And you know, that comes up images of
All right, all
let's
right.
do everything daily.
We just
for
need
4
to
weeks,
expect
and then you
to
your
get
sets. But
flipped
of course,
around.
It doesn't work like that.
And then we
right?
just have to
Like,
flip
you know,
ourselves around, and then we're
got to
fine. Then we
January the 6th,
don't yeet
and
ourselves directly into the boss.
I
Good, good,
remember
good.
when there were other weekly
Good,
events and stuff,
good,
and
good,
there were
good.
more tokens
Hey,
and
don't get
stuff
booed
We
off,
do
don't forget the
love
webs.
not embarrassing ourselves
I'd be very surprised if they upped the acquisition
on the
rate
normal
later
mode
on in the
mechanic.
patch as
You got a
well.
net over to the right.
They absolutely 100%.
Of course they will. So there's all that as well. But also,
Okay,
even
watch
the
for this
fact that
charge.
it's not
All
like
right.
Shit,
you're
then.
Now I just have to live to save
Charge.
face. I
Jump
just have
inside.
to live, for
before you
God's
get
sake.
any rewards. You're talking about buying
On the
start
13
shifting.
sets in that time, right?
Exactly,
So, like,
yeah.
Charge.
I mean,
Stay on the edge or
you're
past it.
You're basically buying a new set every other day in
Get
that
over here to the
situation.
edge.
So it's not like
Well, I'm getting
buying
over
4
there.
weeks with no rewards. Like, no, you're getting a reward every other day.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you're
thought,
getting
I'm
something.
there, I'm there,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
there.
someone express. I can't tell
Nope.
whether it was
Down the edge,
on there
right.
or not, but they were like, "Oh, I'm frustrated that I can't just get all the rewards in a week." It's like, oh, but it's up to
You want all the rewards as well. Like, and that's the thing.
I'm not gonna get all of the rewards
If we get
because
clear, that'd be
there's
nice.
some classes that I don't really touch or play or that I just don't really want or need those sets for. But for
Hey,
people
food
who
showing up.
base the game around collecting
Got some
everything,
nets.
then yeah, that's gonna be hard. But you did that to yourself. No, but like,
Eat.
But I think this comes from a place of
Feeding the boss in order to get the kill. At last. We can't take too many more of these roars, though, guys. I think we're about to pass on. Can we finish feeding this boss, please? Can we finish feeding him so we don't die, please?
I was quite surprised by some of the comments.
All right. Well, he's fed, and a lot of people died. Okay. That's fine.
You have a res.
We have to punch his card here, 100%.
I'm way over here.
Watch your step.
That stuff we can reach him.
yeah, a lot of hate the
thing to
cat,
grind.
hate
In fact, I fear we're actually about to hit his enrage. I don't think we actually have the DPS to get the kill at the moment, unfortunately.
We're gonna have to just alt soak and then hope we can kill it for the next one.
Like, 20th anniversary is trash. I've been playing it last 24 hours.
Everyone soak.
It's like-
Very dicey.
I
Very
don't want to
dicey.
use the word knee-jerk, but it does sound like a reflexive kind of rejection of another
I didn't
thing.
even want to use the
Right?
gate that time because don't have to save my mobility. It's just, this is for all the marbles. Either we get it here or we die.
I'm trying to appreciate that.
And too much health. We're
Exactly,
definitely
yeah.
going to die.
I don't feel like that because to me this feels like
Unfortunate.
almost divorced from everything else that happens in the game. It's like a completely separate system. Like there's nothing.
Ran out of
to
time.
be gained
Well, you
here
know we
that
can
could
get
make
this,
me
just
a
gotta
better,
get there
like,
with
Mythic
more
Plus
people
player.
alive.
Like
Yep.
there's nothing to there's no. I'm not gearing up through this. The gear that drops is
But you know, that is, where is it? I know I've got it. That is
Unironically.
one of my favorite reasons about streaming when I raid.
Always, no matter how many people we have, gonna also that
Because
last one there.
sometimes something will happen in a raid
Does
where
it-
I'm like,
does it
wait a
erase
minute,
this
that's
one?
fucking bullshit.
Well, we shouldn't be that close.
And so I will
Unironically.
go to the videotape
I mean, obviously.
and see, okay, so what the hell happened there? And we actually got good intel from that. We learned that when you take the Warlock Gate, it will turn you to face whichever way the gate is taking you some of the time. And if I had to extrapolate why it's some time and not every time, I bet depending on if I am moving my cursor around like this or holding my right mouse button to be able to manipulate my camera like this, I bet that actually has an impact on which way I come out of the other side of that portal facing, because I can snap my character to look in any direction unless my thumb is not depressing that key.
Flask in it.
So thank you, Twitch.tv, for recording this so I could see
like it's like
what
veteran
I
gear.
did wrong.
Right,
I mean, if you're doing it
I'm just going to say that
yeah,
that's
sure,
not
but
very
you know,
intuitive
you
or
know,
obvious.
So
I'm gonna
not-
just say that's
to
not
me,
very
this feels like an
obvious.
entirely separate little
Maybe it is
game
to
that
some
they just
people,
added into the game, and I'm gonna
but
get
to
some
me
cool
that's not
cosmetics from it.
obvious.
I'm not bothered by it, but yeah. So I was
Alright,
also quite shocked
hearty
to see this
peace
kind of
for the
reaction.
last
People were
hour.
like, oh, another system, another currency, another thing I have to do.
Do you know what it feels like? I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read
Yeah,
Bell's comment. fascinating reaction to the latest Warcraft video. I'm assuming he's getting comments like us.
Of course, yeah.
People are goddamn furious at WoW's systems. Crafting upgrades renown. It seems that the rapid influx of endgame systems increases cognitive load, creating anxiety of being wrong, missing out, leading to anger. And I think there's something in that. I feel so. It's really funny, actually. The complaints.
Before we hear Tally's take, my hot take is that WoW systems are actually not complicated. It's that the game does a very poor job of teaching them to you. The game effectively teaches you how these systems work in the same way it delivers flavor text to you when you do quests. And most people, myself included, just can't onboard information that way. The game has to quite literally grab you by the lapels and like force you to watch a little video or something
In the comments,
to get people to understand it.
what Michael
And that's not bad,
mentions here
but it's something they need to
sound
do.
like BFA complaints. They sound like the words people were using during BFA, and I can't help but think
Yep, I'll grab him back.
some of this is coming from, and correct me in the chat if this is not
Let's come out.
but I can't help thinking that a lot of this is players who haven't played since BFA Shadowlands, so are familiar with those
Alright, clear mid.
critiques and are familiar with those frustrations that were definitely a thing in BFA and to a lesser extent Shadowlands. And they've been away from the game. They're coming back either for the War Within or
odds
the
up,
20th
odds up.
anniversary, and they're seeing this stuff, and they're like, "Shit, this is what I hated in BFA. This is the stuff that was wrong with BFA," but not quite grasping that it's different because the whole point is,
Watch
you
your
know,
step.
Watch your feet.
it's just cosmetic stuff. You've got a really long time limit to do it in your own time.
Yes.
And
Hey, let's clear
I feel
mid,
like
use personal.
It feels to me, and I'm happy to be corrected on this if people feel differently, but it feels to me like people are
Keep it soaked.
remembering arguments from BFA where they were relevant and kind of bringing them to this event. Like they see some new currencies pop up, they see like a grind, they see
Yep,
things
because I was
like
holding my
these
camera down,
these
it
popping
worked.
up, and they're like, "Oh,
I'm a
yeah, no,
genius.
this is
I
it."
figured it out.
And it's not because
Yeah,
A,
base
it's not
coming.
clever, but also
Right,
B,
exactly.
like there is, you know, we've moved on
Don't get
from
pooped
the
off during the
shopping
web.
list style, which BFA was, where you had to do everything, otherwise you
Grab.
weren't doing it right, to a much more buffet kind of thing, which is what this event is, I think.
Taliesin is never going to let
Shifting. Watch
the
charge, though.
shopping list
on us.
versus
Inside.
buffet metaphor go.
Yeah, we're
He's going to
shifting
keep
off,
hitting
so
that
bring
bar over and over again until people learn to like it.
Let's charge, stay.
Like, you know, like if you miss doing your weekly
Charging.
dungeon,
Get out of those ads,
you
come
know,
over to the
you
thing.
are going to be behind on the absolute
Ooh,
maximum.
that was a little close. That was a little oof. That was a little
Charge
oof.
right on us, shit to the edge.
Charge right on us.
You know,
Love
like,
seeing
there's
that.
Little smatterings of things here and there, and if you miss one, it's okay. And I kind of feel like I want to. Everyone that's kind of got a complaint about it now.
Give me food. Give me that
you know,
food.
like,
I'm getting the
we
food. I'm
lost
feeding the
complaints
boss
on show right
immediately,
now, but
dude.
I
don't give a
would
shit about my
really
damage
webs
anymore.
scan.
I just want to
back to
feed this boss.
on the 6th of January.
Eat these
and
little
be
yum
like,
yums,
okay,
buddy.
If you were complaining that there was too much grind and there were too many things, like, you know, not enough ways to get tokens, or, you know, too much cognitive overload, as Michael says.
Coggy load. Okay, good. We actually did the mechanic that time. I love seeing that.
Like, I really think that, you know, by the time this ends, I think
New
Final
portal?
7 will be hot and, you know, it will be coming out the week after, like this. It'll be, you know, or like it's coming out on the 6th and 7th of January. Like that's when this patch is happening, which is kind of what we did. And you know, I've got a feeling people will be like, oh god, I got everything I needed weeks ago. Just like I did.
Yep, that is going to happen, actually. Tally is 100% right about this. We're going to be stuck with this content for literally months.
We're not getting enough bronze.
We're going to have plenty of time to get it done.
Like upgrading my gear and stuff like that.
That's up.
Everyone was done within 3 weeks. Everyone had everything they wanted within 3 weeks, you know. And like other people took it slower and they got everything they wanted by the end. And you know,
Careful
those
moving
upgrades
last
only
second.
existed
Yeah.
for the first
Trying to move last
couple of
second,
weeks.
get a position,
So
stay.
you know, I feel like this happens with WoW so much
Watch
that
your
something
step.
happens, something
Watch feet.
launches, and everyone goes, ugh. And then it's just not a relevant complaint like a week or so. And
In fairness, that is a
clear
lot
mid.
of things in life.
But it wasn't. It was just. It didn't prove to be bad or wrong. It was just like how people
Yeah,
reacted
even
to it
so,
at the time.
even
Does
so.
that make sense?
Yep. I totally get that. I think maybe this whole event could have been helped if there was some kind of additional story quest that went with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it just would have softened it a bit because
Alright, getting ready to phase. Watch your position. Don't get booped off. Don't
you know, but
booped
just
in the webs.
something that delivers a little bit more story because the story delivery has been really nice. I've really enjoyed
watch
getting
Kraz
the Titan
and then
fragments.
check
I
first
really
turn.
liked getting that little extra bit of lore every couple of weeks.
He'll be shifting
So
right,
now
but watch
jumping
for
into
charge.
this and knowing that this is the whole
Charge,
patch,
stay
I think
here.
that also
On the
creates
edge.
expectation for people, right? Like knowing
Okay,
that
we're going.
it's kind
Get there quick.
it's at
Charge,
the same
stay
time
outside.
it's too much and it's not enough. It's this kind of amazing thing that happens with MMOs,
Charging.
particularly with WoW,
Charge,
like WoW
watch out.
players, where you've been given something, you have a time to do it in, and it's way too
Charge
much
right
to
on
do.
us, get
You're
inside.
gonna miss out. FOMO. Also, I'm bored. There's nothing to do.
Oh my god.
Like, and it happens at the same time.
Watch your
And
step.
like, whether
Yeah,
that
the
means
purple.
that people's
I'm breaking you out, buddy.
pressed and they're not getting exactly what they want, or whether there's kind of a
Well,
wider sense
Yeah,
of
get
like
that feeding.
I should have listened to
they
that.
aren't hitting the right buttons for us.
Watch those feet.
Yeah.
It's a mix. I think it's a mix. Personally, I find I understand it and I see it and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel.
I was
this
out of
way.
that, by the way.
I don't feel that way.
Let's go to the
because
tape.
I've become. I
A
don't
net
know, with
in
Let's
the
go to
middle,
the tape.
you can
immune
get
to
it.
FOMO. Like I just
Finish feeding him.
I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get that cool thing. That's all right. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea and read my book. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I.
Yeah,
and I
we
was doing
got
the
him.
mount off today, and I'm like, ooh, I missed out on loads of those mounts, and it's kind of funny.
Let's go with tape.
Come flat.
Funny. So yeah,
Watch your feet.
We have a res up. Do we want to get anyone?
Get all the way to the back. Middle.
Clear mid.
More to the middle.
Let's go with the tape.
Alright, odds getting ready.
New portal up.
Odds soak.
Look at me clearing like a boss here, making sure everybody can safely get through there. Incredible. All right. Let's go to the big
So sweet.
screen. No battle res
mid.
coming my way,
Get
so we're
ready,
not
soak
missing anything in
evens.
the actual fight. Okay, hold on. Oh,
Even soak.
oh, hey, look. Look. I actually was out of it. Dude, that's crazy. No battle res coming my way. We're still fine. I get myself up here. I'm cooking
Yeah,
with
don't get booped off, don't
gas.
get in the webs.
All right, let's look. Well, well, well.
As well as charge.
Well, well, well.
This is insane, dude.
Look who's actually outside of the
Alright, watch
ring.
the charge.
Look who's not
Charge,
actually
push
standing
good,
in
stay
it.
right.
That's
Follow the
crazy, dude.
markers. Blue and
That's
green.
actually crazy.
Charge, stay right.
it is interesting seeing this from Bell and seeing the
Thank you,
comments as well.
Twitch.tv,
That really threw me was reading the comments
for
on the video,
providing
seeing
us
the numbers,
video
like, I hate
proof.
this. This is boring. This is too much.
On us.
So I'm duty bound to kind of take people's complaints seriously. Like it's
Absolutely.
literally our job
Oh
to
yeah, I
listen
think they
and
understand.
understand.
Maybe
Yeah,
regroup
I know,
all
I agree, but
in
I
Africa.
mean, I've just got a feeling it's not going to be a complaint in a couple of weeks. Once people have, maybe I'll be wrong, but I just feel like
Start feeding
I'm
the boss.
laying off it until.
Watch the webs.
I also feel like Taliesin is
clear.
somewhat
Clean.
misconstruing
Boss.
Bellular's post here. Because it sounds like Bellular is speaking to the current retail metagame as far as rating, Mythic Plus, where and how you get crests to be able to upgrade your gear, where and how you get Valor Stones to be able to upgrade your gear, where and how your gear comes from, filling out your vault. You can't look at your vault when you're dead. That's fun. Like when I see him say crests crafting upgrades renown,
Reach any of them.
New portal up.
that's the slice of the game that I'm hearing him talk about.
I cannot.
Watch feet.
But Tally's response has been entirely predicated on the new anniversary content and
They're
fear of missing out on unlocks from that. You heard him say it's just cosmetic. But what he's not honed in on is that unless you're an absolute degenerate and
Run out.
brute force your way to a decent Mythic Plus rating, you're going to have a really hard time getting the crests and the Valor Stones you need to upgrade your gear. Because getting hero track gear, like I have here, that's quick as a whip.
Watch your
You can get that in so many very accessible areas of the game right
Watch
now.
feet.
But actually upgrading it to its maximum level, like I have right here, takes crests that are actually a lot harder to get. Seems like we hit
I mean,
the...
it's as simple as people just can't die early. Like,
Yep.
we have this. We've had it 5 pulls now. If people don't just keep dying early, like we need your DPS.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that haven't died a single time to that, so.
At least I'm finding new ways to
We've seen
die.
it plenty of times, guys.
At least I'm finding new ways to die. It was probably a bad call to try and save the person that was webbed. That is fundamentally why I still got hit by the mechanic, because I was trying to save that guy that was webbed. That's probably not the call. It doesn't really matter that we can visually go back to the video and see that I was not standing in the blue circle. I still nonetheless suffered the ignominy of death.
I've had a couple of weeks to see what my kind.
This is, however, a podcast recorded in front of a live audience, so I would suspect his chat is about to speak up and say, Tally, what about the non-new
playing
content?
very casually
Oh, sorry, but you can snap one more time.
token acquisition is and whether I'm going to be on course to get the things I want to get, right? And I can judge it properly then. I just don't think it's going to be an issue, honestly. Like, beyond the sets, with the first of which is quite expensive at 60, but I'd be surprised if I didn't have enough to buy one of the sets this week. Beyond those, like, everything else, like, even, like, the Core Hound mount is, like, 20 tokens.
Damn, you
like, all the transmog stuff beyond the sets is, like, 10 tokens each and stuff like that. It's pretty chill. And I just think it's going to be okay. And also, like, looking at the things that Bell specifically points out here, you know, like, all the systems that he kind of lists, right? I like them all.
You like
know?
crafting?
I like
Well, you understand how they work.
I like upgrades. I mean, that's the same thing. Right?
Yeah, crafting,
That's the thing. That's the same thing. But and then crafting, I engage in crafting more than I ever have done in one.
Watch feet.
You know, and it might be convoluted, but it's not complicated, and it's not like you know, the main thing I like about crafting.
It's
is
not
it's something
complicated, but it is
myself.
poorly explained
You're mid.
I like how it was not a
and
system
somewhat
that
baroquely
Now,
arranged.
I get into inscription at the beginning of the expansion. I don't even have to
Oh, it's
do
getting
much.
ready.
You know, I think my inscription skill is 50 out of 100
Run
right now.
out.
Oh, it's so.
And yet I have been able to craft myself a staff.
I won't be able to
Nice.
stop.
I've been able
Yep.
to, just through getting crests in Mythic Plus and Heroic Raid, I've been able to craft myself a Mythic level staff, like 636, which is a higher level staff than I'm going to get doing any other content right now. So I'm like set for my weapon for the rest of the,
Watch
rest of the
feet.
patch. And I will be able to upgrade that myself
Nice.
as the expansion goes on. And for me, that feels really satisfying and great. I love that I could make a staff, didn't have to max out my inscription
mid,
to be able to have
personal.
the skill to do that. I just had to, you know, get halfway. I didn't even need to do
Run
that
out.
really, and that
Even
was
so.
pretty natural. I haven't tried to increase it
Almost
either. And I was able to make my staff. It says made by my family on it. It's
Wow.
pretty awesome. Like, I get to upgrade it as the patches go by. I've always got a banging weapon.
Yeah,
with
tried
some
to
cool effects
swing
and
me
stuff.
around again,
And
but
for
I did
me,
not let
that
you.
feels really, really good and really satisfying. And that's
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, well, you don't get fooled again.
So, like, yeah, you might not like the crafting system, you might not bother with it, but relative to what you did with crafting before, like, is it worse? Like, did you used to engage with crafting more?
I will be shifting. Watch for the charge though.
It's like, yeah, but I
Okay,
think it's pretty chill.
pretty
isn't it?
stay
I like the
left.
crafting. And then to make money out of it and stuff, maybe
Okay,
that's
get over
a
here with
different
the
matter,
things. Watch
but
for charge.
I approach crafting from
Charge,
a
you stay on the
different
Oh my
edge.
I
god.
wanna craft my weapon. I'm gonna wield a weapon crafted by me, and I'm gonna hang on to it for the rest of the expansions. I
Charge,
love
stay
that
edge, and you're
weapon.
safe.
So I get to make my own little artifact weapon every expansion, and I think that's really cool. And so for me,
Oh my
I get a
god.
lot out of that, and I think that's really good. Renown, I think, is great. I don't think people are engaging
Alright,
Renown
jump
very much.
Jump off has been called.
But I think that's fine.
Well, because you don't have to.
Well, exactly,
Like,
yeah.
You really don't have
But
to.
at least I was not among the ignoble on that outing. At least I was not the one that died to mechanics this time. And given that I have died to mechanics a few times in just the last little bit, I was doing my bit. I kept a stiff upper lip. It's very hard to play with your upper lip so stiff.
And I think that's the mistake people are making.
Yeah.
People are going into it, and maybe it's people coming back after being away for a little bit. I suspect some of it is that, but I think people are seeing all these things, and they're approaching it with a very BFA mindset, where they're like, "There's so much I have to do," and it's like, actually, there's really not. There's lots to engage in if you want to. We've spent a long time getting to this point, and I really like it. Like, I genuinely think the game's in a fantastic, like, maybe the best place it's ever been in, honestly, from a gameplay point of view. And yeah, I can't complain about any of the things in that list. In fact, I like them all, but obviously I want to hear about it if people feel differently, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's always going to be like this with the community. I think we're also
Okay.
It's the end of October. We've got a couple of months until Christmas. We
Like
have
the
loads
Madonna of our time, Taylor
Thanksgiving.
Swift
We'll
says.
have the kind of like Christmas
You just gotta shake it
holidays,
off,
the end of the
you
year
know?
holidays, New Year.
Gotta shake it off.
So I feel like people just get itchy.
Yeah.
At this time of year, people just get itchy, and they're like, "I want more. I have too much. I want to be pleased in exactly the way I want to be pleased."
Well, also, when I was thinking about the comments on the YouTube video as well, and I bet this is true for Bell's video as well, because I know he's a pro YouTuber and I know he's going to go for this, because we went for it, right? It's that thing of how to get everything you want to get in the 20th anniversary event. So we presented it very much in that, here's all the ways you get crests. Here's all the ways you get bronze, I should say, sorry. You can do this weekly, you can do this daily, you can do this... And
The very fact that Taliesin conflated crests and coins does kind of speak to exactly the point that Bellular is articulating here. Because we've got so many different kinds of currencies. We've now got two entirely different currencies that do entirely different things that both contain the word coffer key in them.
So
like that's a frankly insane amount of inconsideration for the average person's ability to devote cognitive load to this game. I can't believe there are two currencies that both use the phrase coffer key.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot when you're just explaining it to someone, but...
They're even kept in different places. One is kept in your bag, the other is kept in your currency tab. It's madness.
Get ready, so
get the things that you want to get. Like, get these things because, that kind of urgency sells.
Even so.
But it's a false sense of urgency.
Well, I think there's even just the way people's brains work, like even just seeing a video like ours, which is like, here's a list of here's all the ways you can get currency. You see that.
See, that time it didn't flip me around.
Because
that time it didn't whip me around even a little bit.
It's a clusterfuck over there, so you gotta wait for a spot.
I think it does, and even honestly, even just seeing a thumbnail that says something like that, like all the ways you get bronze, all the things you've got to get, like I think
gotta get those things, bro.
Kind of aura.
We're gonna be shifting opposite. Watch the charts though. Okay, safe here left.
It's like anything, right? I define
Easy time to use Cheeto right there. 100 P. Oh my god.
An MMO or like any RPG or action game, like explain to me
Charging.
like
Right on
the
us.
gear
Oh
system
my
in
God.
Call of Duty, right? Explain to me the crafting system
Wanna
in
move
God
left,
of War.
not right.
Explain to
Okay.
me the combat
Need to be
system
now.
in Baldur's Gate 3. Like,
Yeah, it's
explain it
Charged
to
on
me,
the edge.
someone who doesn't play the game or hasn't played the game for a while.
I mean, this is actually a pretty good point from Taliesin. Like,
Watch your
any
step.
game systems are complicated to those who aren't familiar with them in the context of modern gaming. But like I said, World of Warcraft explains how these various systems work, largely using the same mechanism that it uses in-game to give you quest text, that thing that players notoriously do not read. Like, I get it. We don't want to force
Yeah,
players
yeah, good.
at gunpoint to pay attention for even a second. But if they don't pay attention, then they won't know how the game systems work. And then they'll just be mad. They'll be like, why don't I understand how this works? Well, because you didn't pay attention. But you're going to blame the developers for that one. And it is kind of their bad for putting it in the quest text.
In
Player
terms
mid.
of words,
Make it a video.
explaining it to me
Make
now,
it a
at
fun
least
video to
something
watch.
play along with. And it's
Oh, let's get ready.
always going to sound confusing.
Oh, of course.
Like, that's the thing, and that's the
Video.
case with
Yeah, we
any
caught a
game
body.
system or anything like that. Every time there is a new one, we're like, oh, it's
Odds
so
soak.
complicated, it's another thing happening.
I'm not
Every
among the
single
odds,
issue, like,
so I will not
telling
be
you
soaking.
Anything is complicated. Like, I can tell you how to change a tire on a bike, and if you haven't ridden a bike before, you're going to be very confused by this, right?
Okay.
So it is tricky and it is difficult, and everything
Watch
you
your
think
step.
always sounds
feet.
convoluted and overly complex and silly and pointless when you explain it to
That's
someone.
coming.
This
clear
does
mid.
feel like the
Personal.
better build for single target content. Having all these. Oh my god.
Yeah, fine. I don't know why I wasn't.
Run out.
Eating
That's
soak.
what I find works on anyway.
Having all these
Like,
extra
crests,
black
quite a few crests are
arrows
amazing. I think
is
what
definitely
the
really
upgrade
working
system we
out
have in WoW right
stuff.
now, and this is only my personal view. If you feel differently,
from a
that's
single
absolutely
target
okay.
perspective
Like, I
anyway.
value your opinion, and I
That
wanna
time
hear
it
your
whipped me
opinion.
around like a
I love that
motherfucker,
shit.
but it's
Like, I know
fine.
some-
I didn't
some are drawn
panic.
to know
I
this
kept
stuff.
both
But
hands
for
on the
me
wheel.
personally, I
I
think
kept
that
a steely-eyed
your
gaze.
style is
It's on
Okay,
video. You can go see it
transition, Watch your positioning.
at twitch.tv/the
I
Deacon.
like I love that I can upgrade gear. I think it's brilliant.
And then
I
and those guys got webbed and I did not.
Different crests.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
why
It took me 2.5 hours,
Because I
but
don't
now
feel
I'm
We should
gaming.
then Careful charge.
Now I'm
Stay out of it.
motherfucking gaming.
relative to the difficulty of the content that you're doing.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Like,
but
Charging.
I remember finding there's a bit of
Charge.
a barrier,
Sit
when
here.
crests first came
Yeah.
out, and they're like, "This is how you do it." And I
Good,
was
good,
like,
good.
I had to, like,
Gotta
walk
collect
through
this
it.
orb.
Shit,
I had
shit.
to be like, "Please
Gotta
tell
shoot
me
these guys.
How do I do this? It's all pretty straightforward. It's all intuitive, but it's like I
Watch
just
fire stay right on
I
the
just
edge.
wish there wasn't such a huge like. I wish there
I
was
can't even fucking see my character right
because it
now
gives the- it
because
gives the illusion
everything
of
is just a
multiple
fucking
currencies and,
massive
just,
explosions.
If you want to, if you came out, if Ian Ascostas came out tomorrow on
Come to the
Day 1
tanks.
and was like, we're getting rid of Valor Stones, like the
Some of you were
upgrade
staying
system
way
stays
far
the same in
back
terms of
there, and
crests.
Oh man, getting rid of Valor Stones would be amazing.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Well
yeah,
done.
'cause
Yeah.
that's like, an extra one added on to. It's like it doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like,
Get rid of
crests,
crests.
Start
crests are
speeding.
great and crests are good, and I would keep that as an upgrade system. I think that's good. But yeah, if you told me you were going to get rid of Valor Stones, I'd be like, yeah, sounds good, do it.
The thing that kills me, and this is just because people like experience, take in information in different ways. The fact that each of the crests have the same icon but slightly different
Yeah,
colors.
no, fuck
I'm
that.
Thank
like,
you,
this
Evie,
is-
yes.
This is nonsense.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
defies my brain. I literally cannot.
And because
literally
the-
have to hover over.
And because the currency tab is sorted alphabetically, the crests aren't even all next to each other. Even though I didn't like losing the bag space when the crests were physical items you held in your bags,
mid.
at least I could arrange them in a way where at a glance I'd be able to easily see how many I have. But now they're in the currency tab, and the currency tab is arranged alphabetically. And you know, if it were up to me, if I were a dev, then what I would have done is I would have just made sure the most important crest alphabetically was also the earliest letter alphabetically. So what gilded crests are now, they would be where the carved crests are instead, because carved crests are the second worst crests. It goes weathered, carved, runed, and then gilded.
That's
But you
not
have to
clear, makes
know
it
that.
personal.
And there's no like easy or obvious place you can go to just like see a picture that tells you that.
Gary soak even soak.
Oh, I'm getting ready to soak, brother. I'm getting so ready to soak. So I liked getting the bag space back. That was a good change, and I'm glad they did it. But I do not like the way that in the currency tab, they're arranged alphabetically, and they also all have the exact same icon with only minor differences. It's actually kind of funny because as I've been preparing the first round of Channel Flare, sub badges and
Pretty safe here.
custom
Watch charge.
emotes and
There's
all kinds of
Starship to the
goodies
edge.
for subscribers. Oh god. Oh my god. As I've been preparing that, I've been having to have this very conversation as far as like these need to be legible despite being very, very tiny.
Charge edge.
And I
Shoot
feel
there,
like
well.
maybe nobody on the WoW team streams enough to where they have to have like emotes and badges made, because these little icons are just not visually distinct enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the purple.
Well, I'm not sorry. They should have considered things
For each
better.
one to see which one it is. Every time, like, please just make them different icons, like digestible. Like, just change the color so they're not like purple.
Oh yeah, this is the urn. This is the urn right here. We're gonna get the kill this time. This is the fucking urn. We're gonna do it. This is it. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking punch this guy's card, bro.
So I feel like I should point out I do have like
Let's give him the old Rooskadoo.
I think far more important criticism of this match.
Using my second pot. Talking out of my mind.
The fact that this is an
Just clear the one that's out towards middle.
event.
Second pot, by the way.
It can have as much content and as many rewards as you like. But it's
There's a
never
couple
gonna
way towards middle.
Pyramid.
0.5 patch. It's never gonna feel like a war within patch. Like
Let's
it
get
might
ready.
very well be
Should we
a
all
patch
just
of
get on this or no?
content. It might very well be this great celebration. But the worry that I had.
I mean, this is the last pull, so we might as well.
Coming true. I hate to say it. But for me, the main problem with this is, and you know, I'm getting this feeling that some people in the chat agree with me, is that this doesn't feel like a war within patch, and it will never feel like a war within patch.
Ho ho! I saved my own life there. No ignominy for me. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go, dude. And now all the frustration gets to come out. Fuck yeah, dude.
At the same time, it's
Woo.
Awesome DPS guys. You guys
And I
actually
feel
carried
like,
really good job.
yeah, like I'm just waiting
Fuck
for the
yeah,
next
dude.
installment of the War Within. I love this anniversary event. It's really good fun.
And
It's going to keep me
thanks for
entertained
coming in.
until January. Well, probably not, no. But I've still got my Mythic Plus season stuff to do then. Maybe they'll chuck in some story quests later on. I really hope so.
Well, that feels fucking good. I did have a few really ignoble deaths on that one,
Yeah.
but
Sorry, I should have said something. But, we usually pass on shit and we roll it out in RC, so pass for now, and we'll just do a roll for the Mel piece though.
okay. But the good news is I was able to get good enough at that fight that I was able to articulate a little rant about how similar all the fucking crests look, including
Yep,
visual
we got it.
aids
It's
and
been
pausing
enough time, so thanks
the
all.
WoW
We got it.
podcast in the middle of the fight without dying. So I went from many regrettable and ignoble deaths
Yeah, I mean, you know,
to being
since that
comfortable in
just
the
reminded
fight.
me you know who you are. There's a few people that died just way too much. Like it just
Yep.
can't happen for Mythic.
I did.
Yep.
And I don't usually do like my camera was
What-
getting completely spun around when I would turn, and it
Sorry,
was
one
kind
second,
of like
but the helmet didn't show up on my RC council blood, so I
Yeah,
actually like to
we're
roll.
just gonna roll that one like
Oh.
a slash roll since Bunta's here. So here it comes now. Roll if you need the male helm. We'll just do a highest roll gets it.
yeah, I'd say 3 out of 4. 3.
Yes, we finally got him.
5 pulls. I was 9 in charge, and that's just too much.
Yeah.
Gretch cell.
This is my last piece of champion gear gone.
Nice.
That's good.
know, but anyway, I fixed the camera setting on that pole, and turns out it's better.
Sweet. Thanks for coming, Bunta. Appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. GG's, guys.
Yeah, GG, bud. Appreciate it.
GG's has been called.
I'm gonna pass on the bracers. Actually, I already have bracers with a socket.
And it seems
I don't really
that
plan on
Dark
upgrading
Ranger
all the
is
way
not
max,
giving
probably
me
until I
significantly
do other
higher
things first, so.
damage relative to Sentinel. But it does make single target encounters a little bit more fun because I'm pressing kill shot, now Black Arrow, a lot more frequently during the fight. And they're probably going to call it here, right? Because raid normally goes until 10.
I feel bad.
So, Duke, this is actually the shortest raid in recent memory. There are only 8 bosses in this raid.
Where the fuck were you?
So, for context, every raid in Dragonflight had 9 bosses. So, we're down 1 boss from every raid in Dragonflight. And if we go back as far as, let's say, Battle for Azeroth,
minutes after that,
we've got raids with 12 bosses in them.
You did ask him how close he was in guild chat.
Oh, yeah, that's
We've got gigantic raids full of bosses, and even extra raids with a few bosses. Not just 3 raids, but a bunch of raids.
I'm gonna go punish myself.
They've just been slowly diluting the mix over time, sadly.
The big thing is just gotta clean up a lot of those deaths. Like, we were right on the edge of enraged.
And yeah, this is actually why I like Mythic raiding, because it's complex, because it's challenging for me.
Every time I would spin to go the other way from the charge when it was right on us, my camera was rotating
What do you need?
around, and I actually went the wrong
Like,
way
every time I work on and figure out the mechanic version, the mythic mechanic version of a boss, it instantly becomes clear to me that, like,
yeah, I think
that's the
one
way
of
the
you
boss
know,
is
we
supposed
got
to be
it,
played.
It'll be
That every other
it'll
version
come
of the
pretty quick.
boss is like a pale shadow of what the real boss is, which is the mythic version. And I'm not just talking from like a challenge perspective, but I'm talking the way all the different mechanics kind of interlock into each other and feel very satisfying to execute. Because like I was saying, even on heroic, just one difficulty down, you can tank a charge from that boss. Like, there's that second phase mechanic where the boss is charging across the hexagon and you have to be careful not to get hit or you of course instantly die. You say of course because you would imagine, like, oh, obviously with that kind of mechanic that's going to one-shot you. But on any other difficulty, it doesn't. It hurts a lot. Like, you'll take a big chunk of your damage, but in that phase nothing is really damaging you. So you'll just drop to 5% health, the healers will heal you up, and you go on about your business. It's like a non-mechanic. And there are so many mechanics in this game, in raid, in the dungeons, basically in any content you can do on normal or heroic. It's full of abilities like that where you can basically afford to just ignore them. They'll go off, they'll do damage to you, maybe the healer will heal you up, maybe you'll have to use a self-heal or a defensive, but like, as long as you're not getting hit by the kinds of abilities that are like swirlies on the ground, that are like big beams, you know, things that are clearly coded to be like, this will certainly one-shot you, you can tank pretty much anything. And obviously then in Mythic that goes away to even higher degrees at higher levels of Mythic. Like, just last night, I was doing my very first 10 stone vault. And I've done a fair amount of stone vaults. I've done like 20 stone vaults. And we were doing the boss that is actually 2 bosses. Where is it? Yeah, the Master Machinists. And every single time that I'd done this boss, including on a 9, like, a 9 is too hard for most people to do. So, but I'm including that in this jump threshold here. On this 10, 1, it was much harder to kill both bosses at the same time. It felt like the guy in the big robot had much more health than the small spellcaster guy. Whereas on every other time I'd been there at any difficulty level, they felt like they had pretty much health parity and there was no difficulty in trying to get them down at the same time. If you don't get them down at the same time, the one that lives and rages, and you pretty much die instantly if he's not almost all the way dead himself. And the other thing was, this guy has ability you're supposed to kick. And when he jumps away from the raid to like do an ability where he throws a big cube at you, he's still casting that ability. And again, even in 9s, we could afford to just ignore that mechanic. Even on Tyrannical, when the boss is empowered, when the boss is stronger than the trash, on even 9s, we could just ignore that kick. But on a 10, me not knowing that I was the one that had to kick that kick wiped us a couple times. So I learned that from that fight, and that mechanic is present in every difficulty level of the fight, but it literally did not matter until I was on pretty much the bleeding edge. Because once you're up into 10s, 11s, 12s, these are the hardest of the hard content. This is even harder than Mythic raiding. The level of personal responsibility is insane. So just that jump from 9 to 10, and it's like, oh, wow. So there's like new stuff I have to learn, new ways I can fuck up, new ways I can be the reason that we don't time the key. That kind of sucks on the one hand. On the other hand, it's like, oh, now I'm actually doing the actual fight. It's a lot more fun once I know how to do it, once I know these little things. And then once I recognized I had to hit that kick, I was like, okay, I'm going to have him pre-targeted. I'm going to wait till he pushes his fucking cube, pushes his cube. There's the ability, kick the ability, feeling super good. Like, it feels great when you're doing it. But if you don't know to do it and you pay a penalty for it in terms of not timing the key, in terms of it being your fault, like a real social penalty, a real temporal penalty,